PRISCILLA LUDOSKY is driving a grassroots protest against high fuel prices in France. She launched an online petition calling on the French government to scrap its high taxes on fuel aimed at reducing air pollution. It has more than 800,000 signatures.
The government is out of touch with reality and daily life. It's not easy to just give up your car and buy electric. A few financial incentives aren't enough.
The campaign has become a nationwide movement known as the Yellow Vest protest.
The yellow vest is a sign of support for our message. It's the symbol of the car and it shows the urgency of the situation.
Rising global oil prices have pushed up the cost of fuel, but it's the extra taxes on top in France that have infuriated motorists. Protesters say the taxes are unfair. Many people rely on their cars to get to work, particularly in rural areas where there's little or no public transport. This farmer says his income has fallen as his fuel costs have risen.
It used to be $13,000 of fuel a year, but it's gone up to $16,000. So it's really pushing up my running costs.
The Yellow Vest protest has been sparked by fuel prices, but it's become a symbol of wider discontent in France. Many people say they're simply fed up with a rising cost of living and with a government they say doesn't understand their concerns. On a recent trip to northern France, the French president was confronted nearly everywhere he went by people who said his policies favour the rich over the poor.
Pourquoi vous nous massacrez? Pourquoi nous? À peine 2000 avec mon mari, on nous baisse encore les retraites.
Organic vegetable farmer MUSTAFA HADJ MOUSSA's van is essential for his business to make deliveries. He says protecting the environment is vital, but it's big polluters like industry that should be taxed.
Politically, it's important to support the environment, but the way it's being done isn't fair. You can't tax little guys like us and say we're the polluters. We aren't. You have to tax the source of pollution.
Emmanuel Macron has faced a series of street protests over his reforms and policies since coming to power last year. Each time he survived the storm. But as his popularity plummets in opinion polls, this may be one of his greatest tests yet. How to handle a movement fueled not by trade unions or politicians, but powered by people. NATACHA, BUTLER, Al Jazeera, Savigny-Le-Temple, France.